Fit in or get out. What if, through claiming our gender, we claimed our true strength? To be strong could mean to have muscles, to eat a lot of spinach, to be physically dominant, hard at work, political, or even aggressive. In fact, the definition of strong is having the power to move heavy things or perform physically demanding tasks. I can test a different version of strong. I define strong as being who you are, especially when it's hard. And there's an intersection between strength and gender, and letting people claim their true gender is letting them claim their true strength. When we deny people the ability to identify their true gender, we are denying their ability to claim their true strength. So my corporate America career began in the construction industry, very female dominated. I'm kidding. Of course, female dominated industries do not exist. However, it was the early 2000s, and my mother told me the feminists had paved the way. The world was equal for men and women. Everything had been settled. So, as I entered the doors on my first day of work, suddenly I was quite surprised. There were 10 men and just me in the leadership development program. I wondered, this doesn't feel so equal. Where did all the women go? Fast forward 4 years. This is me driving an excavator, which, by the way, I did enjoy. However, what you can't see in this picture is that on most days, I wore steel-toed boots that were only available in men's sizes, a Caterpillar coat that was only available in men's sizes, and khakis and a polo with my complete masculine package on. I was strong by everyone else's standards, but not by my own. I was desperately trying to fit in and felt a sense that I did not belong. I felt fit in or get out. Gender is a construct. We've created gender as two categories, a binary term, male or female, boy or girl, as if there's no in between. What we know now about gender is it's very fluid. There is actually a spectrum from masculine to feminine, and people identify all along that spectrum. Now, gender equality is a priority in a lot of workplaces, but very few organizations are getting this right. I've heard a lot of doozies over the years speaking about this topic, and I'll share a few with you. One time, I was on stage, and a young man actually challenged gender equality, saying that the Bible supported male supremacy. That was a tough one to handle. Or the countless times I've walked around organizations and they've said, we want more women leaders. We just can't find them. Or they're primary caregivers and they want to be mothers instead. Men are fathers too, as if this is a choice. Or one of my personal favorites, a time that a male-dominated technology company decided to have a pool party and wondered why the women felt uncomfortable wearing their bathing suits in front of their male colleagues. These are innocent examples of organizations trying to do the right thing and not getting it right. This is a typical org chart in corporate America. If your organization looks like this, you are not alone. In the 12 years I served in corporate America, I never had the opportunity to work for a woman. The challenge with this is that as humans, we look for ourselves reflected in the organization structure. We look for people like us to feel a sense of belonging. So if you don't look at your organization structure and see yourself reflected, you will feel a feeling of fit in or get out. It is a universal human experience. This is a challenge because what we know is today, 31% of Gen Z, the next generation to enter the workforce, identifies as LGBTQ+. 50% of people in the workplace are closeted. Diverse and inclusive companies outperform their peers because they make 87% better decisions and they achieve a 19% higher revenue rate. These are real numbers. This is a real problem. I myself have contributed to the problem. I've written books about men as allies for women and a book about women developing their career game plans. I've now pivoted towards overall allyship in the workplace because I've been curious to learn and to get better and to not know all the answers. This is hard stuff. To challenge the norms that we have always known, the check boxes of male versus female, how many times have you checked those boxes? To unknow this, to unlearn this system is a challenge. So let's look back to look forward. Humans have been on the planet for roughly 200,000 years. Most of our existence has been largely egalitarian. In fact, a lot of tribes believed in multiple genders. 12,000 years ago, things changed. We stopped hunting and gathering, and we began farming. That changed everything. Why? The invention of the farm plow favored men's superior upper body strength, and suddenly women were sent into caretaking roles and to produce workers for the farm, and men began making all of the decisions. Today, we teach a history dominated by white men. Did you know that when you show boys and girls alike, you ask them to draw a picture of a leader, nearly 100% of the time, they draw a man? That's because what they see countless images of men leading, and there are far few examples of women leading. For example, in corporate America, did you know that there are more men named James leading Fortune 500 companies than there are women CEOs total? I remember reading this book when I was a kid, The Berenstain Bears, No Girls Allowed. I remember thinking, why weren't the girls allowed to play with the boys? Why did we need to treat these genders differently? Gender socialization is taught from the time a child is in the womb. The first question we want to know the answer to when someone's expecting, is it a boy or a girl? We have to place people in a category. We have to know which it is. And then we have boy room decorations and girl room decorations. We have boy toys and we have girl toys. We teach girls to caretake and we teach boys to be brave and to take risks. This is taught. It's no surprise that at age 8, a girl's confidence peaks at the very same age that boys are taught to stuff their emotions or either be called gay or be bullied as a result of that. How is this helpful? We teach this. It's no surprise that today women are just 6% of Fortune 500 CEOs. 1 in 3 women will be assaulted in their lifetime, and women make just 82 cents on the dollar for similar work to their male counterparts. This system is flawed. And if you don't fit into the system, you feel like you have to get out. Remember those images I showed you before? Of physical strength or women being strong and it maybe not being perceived so well? I would argue that being strong is a mentality, not a physicality. To be strong is to persevere, to be brave, to do hard things, to be your true self, even when it's hard, especially when it's truly uncomfortable. And we need to expand the check boxes. It's not just male or female. There's actually a category of being gender neutral that we need to embrace and welcome. My home state of Indiana offers this now on our state's driver's license. You can select gender neutral. Why should we do this? It's the right thing to do for humans, for anyone that identifies as male or female or anyone in between. Maslow has been talking about this since 1942. Aside from our psychological needs being met and our basic needs of safety and food, water, shelter, as social creatures, we seek belonging and connection in the workplace, in our culture, and in society. And if we don't feel that we belong, we do not stay, because we either have to fit in or get out. I know that we can undo this because I myself have experienced it. This is my mother, Nancy. I was raised by a single mom that essentially did both gender roles in my household. She took out the trash, she did the yard work, she did the finances, she also did all the housework and the caretaking. I didn't see gender growing up in my home. She was also the strongest person I've ever known, right up until she took her last breath. And I will tell you, as I held her hand in the hospital, that I told her that I would be strong and that someday I would raise a daughter to be strong just like us. Today I have the chance to do that. I have my 6-year-old daughter, Jane, and I see her being her very best self when she is strong, when she is kind, and when she's brave at the same time. This is what's best for humans. But I have to undo that gender socialization that she's getting programmed in at school and in society. So you better bet every night we have a nightly ritual where we get to talk about being strong. We've done this since she was a little baby. As she goes to bed, she says her words. And she says, I am smart, I am strong, I am funny, I am beautiful, and I am kind, and I am brave. She then tucks herself in, and she says to me, Mama, say my words back to me. And I say, Jane is smart, Jane is strong, Jane is beautiful, Jane is funny, Jane is kind, and Jane is brave. We do this every night to reinforce strength. Call to action for all of you today. I want you to understand the system that we have created around gender is not helpful for anyone. To keep people in boxes is to tell people to fit in or get out. Let's invite everyone to uncheck their boxes, to empathize with those that don't fit into the systems that we've created, and to acknowledge when we're asking people to fit in or get out, we're signaling they don't belong. We're not getting the best from everyone if they're hiding a part of their identity. So please join me in being an ally to those that don't identify with these systems. I invite you to empathize, and I know we will all be stronger for it.